What's up, music nuts? Welcome back to Music for Impatient People, the series where I bombard you with knowledge and some music-related stuff for 5 minutes or so. Today we're gonna learn how to record your electric guitar or bass in the comfort of your own home. You'll need a properly functioning, tuned electric guitar, preferably with strings that aren't covered in rust and Dorito dust. A computer, preferably with peripherals that aren't covered in Dorito dust. A good quality 1/4-inch cable. A USB audio interface to plug your guitar or bass into. A pair of headphones. A DAW or
digital audio workstation.
This is the software you're going to be recording into. Here we only use the bare minimum of stuff needed for recording. If your interface does have a high Z mode or a dedicated instrument input, you can plug right into that, and you're good to go. If not, then you'll also need a so-called DI box and an XLR cable. Here you go from the guitar into the DI box, then use the XLR cable to connect the DI box to your interface. Dial back the input gain so the signal doesn't clip even when you strum really hard. Done. Then, in your make a track, select the correct input and arm it for recording. Also switch on track monitoring so you can actually hear what's going on during recording. In the FX section of the track, add your preferred amp sim, followed by an impulse response plugin which acts as a speaker or cap simulation here. Adjust the sound to something you like. Now you're ready to record. This is the method you'll definitely need the most additional equipment for, and the most tolerant neighbors. If you have a great sounding amp setup you really enjoy, you probably already have a sound that you're familiar with and that you want to capture on a recording. So the obvious choice here is to set up your amp, put a mic in front of the speaker, plug that mic into your interface, crank that amp, and go wild. I'd highly recommend to spend some time to research on how to mic up your speaker best, as that might drastically change the tone. A great starting point will be a Shure SM57 or SM7B pointed towards the speaker, 1 inch away from the speaker and 1 inch off center. While this method is arguably the most fun and authentic, it's quite inflexible, expensive, and really damn loud. If you have an actual physical amp you really want to capture, but you're, rightfully, worried about your neighbors showing up on your doorstep with pitchforks and torches in hand, this one's for you. By tapping the signal of your effects loop send jack, you can capture the sound and dynamics of your preamp section. And since you're bypassing the power amp and speaker section this way, you can record silently, letting your interface and PC handle the rest. The signal you're getting now will probably sound like absolute garbage, but we'll get to that. The power amp section and speaker do exist for a reason other than making stuff loud. But luckily virtual solutions exist here. You can already get the signal pretty decent sounding if you just slap a cap simulator with a nice impulse behind it. And if your sound needs some power amp saturation and then the guys at Ignite Amps provide a pretty good power amp simulation for free, which you would put in front of the speaker sim. If you are dead set on using your own amp's power section while still recording silently, then you can instead plug the speaker out of your amp into a so-called load box. These things are designed to handle the much higher current given off by the power amp. Absolutely do not plug the speaker directly into your interface. Also, if you're using a tube amp, you still have to connect the speaker even if you're not really using it before switching it on. Otherwise, you're risking to fry your beloved amp. Whatever you're recording and whatever method you're using, make sure the input signal on your interface is not clipping. Always leave enough headroom. When recording without any amplifier between the guitar and interface, don't forget to engage the high Z or instrument mode for that particular input. Always write down or save what you like. Be it amp settings, speaker impulses or mic positioning, doesn't matter. Make sure you remember. Religiously check the tuning of your instrument for every take if necessary. Keep your phone well away from your pickups, as it might cause some nasty interference noises. If you're recording while listening to the track monitoring signal, try to keep the audio latency below 10 milliseconds or it's gonna slowly drive you insane. Dedicated interface drivers or ACO for all can really help with that, so make sure you've got these drivers selected in your Alright, that's about all you need to know to get started. Leave your questions, thoughts and suggestions in the comments, and until next time,
Goodbye.